you want this straight line. You know take on road and daytime. Secret no come prime time on the line. Tell me a tell you say up to the time.
Before VYBZ KARTEL would become one of Jamaica's most influential musical artists with tracks like Clark's Rompin' Shop, Summertime, Dancehall Hero, and Fever.
Upshot, somehow you got extra, forget me not. When it's sweet, yo, what you say?
Before he would find international success collaborating with American artists including Rihanna, Missy Elliot, Pitbull, and Busta Rhymes.
Gift wrap with a ribbon, girl, you're in my presence. Okay. Look at me and let the vision deliver the message. You ready to leave it, dude? Listen and give me a second.
Hello, baby girl, me why you?
Before he was tried for 2 separate murders and sentenced to life in prison on April 3rd, 2014.
The wickedness that we're about to murder, he don't deserve that. Shouldn't give him no life, just give him certain time and he come back home.
Jury have spoken, the judge have spoken, and we now look forward to the Court of Appeal.
As a young man, VYBZ KARTEL was a promising student but dedicated more and more of his time to his musical aspirations. When he was just 16 years old, he was kicked out of high school but fortunately found a mentor in the dancehall legend, Bounty Killer. This helped to launch the promising young artist's career, but their falling out was ugly, even leading to violence on the streets of Kingston.
I'm not a religious leader and I'm not a political leader, so I shouldn't be held responsible for growing a child. Responsibility should be held with the parents.
Wagwan! My name is Michael McCrudden, documenting the life and career of VYBZ KARTEL prior to fame, here for you on Before They're Famous. We've actually never covered any Jamaican dancehall artists in the past, but all that can change. Just let me know who's next in the comments down below. Sorry, my cameraman's laughing at me. I'll never do the Wagwan again.
Dancehall music is so indigenous that, as we have said, if it were to be put on an international market in its purest form, it would be intolerable.
VYBZ KARTEL was born to Dija Azim Palmer on January 7, 1976 at Victoria Jubilee Hospital in Kingston, Jamaica. He was raised in the Waterford district of Portmore with his 4 sisters and 1 brother. Growing up, he idolized artists like Will Smith, Papa San, Ninja Man, and KRS-One, and began penning lyrics when he was just 11 years young. 2 of Adija's uncles were aspiring musicians who helped to encourage his musical ambitions from a young age, but his parents didn't always approve. Adija's parents emphasized discipline and education. In fact, his sister Maureen actually grew up to become a high school vice principal. As for Adija, well, he did well in school. He excelled in math, geography, and English. He was such a bright student that one of his teachers had this to say: he could have become a rocket scientist if he had so desired. He attended Calabar High School, but after spending most of his time pursuing his musical interests, he was expelled when he was just 16 years young. Going by the name Addy Banton, a nod to reggae artist Buju Banton, he recorded his first single when he was just 17 years old. The 1993 track was called Love Fat Women, and Addy formed his own group, VYBZ KARTEL, along with Mr. Lee and Escobar in 1996. The group didn't last long, but he decided to keep the name, but with different spelling, as his own moniker as he transitioned into a career as a solo artist. While performing at a show at Portmore in 1998, he caught the attention of a popular dancehall singer known as Bounty Killer. Bounty headed up the musical collective called The Alliance and invited VYBZ to join. Addy made friends with another rising star, Mavado, and began writing for Bounty Killer, Elephant Man, and others. He also collaborated on songs like Girls Like Mine, Liquid Rhythm, and Gal Clown. In 2002, VYBZ began recording a string of hits like Most High, Guns Like Mine, Bust My Gun Like None, and War Organizer. Sorry if I butchered any of that. I know it doesn't sound as cool. He also collaborated with Wayne Marshall on tracks like Why Crazy Rhythm, New Millennium, Mad Ann's Rhythm, and Why Again Good To Go Rhythm. By 2003, he was selling more singles than another artist on the reggae charts other than fellow Alliance member Elephant Man. Also in 2003, well, this happened.
He became the first artist in dancehall to physically attack another on stage.
He released his debut album Up to D Time on October 28, 2003, with both Timeless and More Up to D Time following in 2004, featuring singles Picture and The Tech Buddy.
Hey, Tech Buddy, God, you think me easy? We are rampant. You want it easy? Take my things on. You take my money too. So take body too. Take body too.
But VYBZ KARTEL's days with the Alliance wouldn't last. With his career beginning to take off, his status as Bounty Killer's protege was making less and less sense. Then a personal incident marked a clear break in the relationship when Bounty Killer's sworn rival Beanie Man got married. Not only did VYBZ KARTEL attend the wedding, he brought Bounty Killer's ex-girlfriend as his date. In 2006, VYBZ married New York bank supervisor Stacey Ann Elliott, but the marriage would end in divorce just 2 years later. But his love life would eventually come together. He's presently married to Tanisha Shorty Johnson, and together they have 3 sons. VYBZ KARTEL left the Alliance in 2006 and formed his own collective, Portmore Empire, and a label, Adijiheem Records. He immediately began trading insults with Bounty Killer and Mavado, who soon became the Bounty's new protege. The beef spilled over into the streets with a number of murders and shootings linked to the Gaza Gully War, prompted by the dancehall rivalry.
VYBZ KARTEL is not in any war with any artist. You know what I mean? VYBZ KARTEL is just doing music, making hit songs, you know what I mean, making products, and overall just making money.
The police and other public officials called on the artist to squash the beef. In 2007, both Mavado and VYBZ KARTEL publicly announced an end to the hostilities. But by the summer of 2008, both artists were releasing new tracks aimed at each other, and more violence between the artist groups followed. In 2009, Jamaican Prime Minister Bruce Golding asked for a peace meeting and planned to have a peace concert in Barbados featuring both Mavado and VYBZ KARTEL. That ended up getting cancelled, but VYBZ KARTEL did drop the song Life We Livin' as a call for peace.
Just look on the life we living. Look on the life we living. Look on the life we living.
VYBZ won an award at the Caribbean Urban Music Awards in 2008, and that year also expanded his entrepreneurship beyond music. He launched a line of liquor called Street Vibes Rum and a line of prophylactics called Daggering Condoms. Okay.
If the word, the D word wasn't actually being used.
I think we can say daggering.
Okay, we can say daggering.
Yeah, we can sing about daggering.
Sure.
But I think we can say daggering, yes.
Right.
More awards would come in 2009 with 3 wins at the EME Awards. Then after the success of his singles Clark's, Clark's 2, Clark's Again, and Clark's Where Will You Have, sales of that brand of shoes spiked in Jamaica.
Everybody have to ask when me get me Clark's. Oh.
So in 2011, he released his own shoe line named Addie's. Far more controversial, he also came out with a line of skin bleaching cake soap. He also hosted his own reality show, Teach a Pet, which featured 20 women living in a house together vying for the artist's attention. Not a bad life. In September of 2011, VYBZ KARTEL became the first artist to be banned from the airwaves by the National Communications Network of Guyana. The same month, he was arrested by police for possession of marijuana. That's probably not a very serious crime in Jamaica, but the country's major investigation task force later tacked on 2 more charges: illegal possession of a firearm and conspiracy to commit murder. From prison, VYBZ authored a book with his business associate Michael Dawson called The Voice of the Jamaican Ghetto, Incarcerated But Not Silenced, which was published in 2012. While awaiting his trial for that murder, new charges were added in connection to a second murder. VYBZ was charged with the murder of Clive Lizard Williams and for preventing the course of justice after his associate Vanessa Gaza Slim Sadler allegedly claimed that she was robbed by Lizard, apparently to mislead the police into believing that he was still alive. VYBZ was found not guilty of the murder of Barrington Burton murder, but after a 65-day trial, the longest in Jamaican history, on March 13, 2014, VYBZ KARTEL was found guilty of the murder of Clive Lizard Williams, and he was sentenced to life in prison. He's eligible for parole in 2049. While plenty of artists have continued on careers throughout long prison sentences, VYBZ KARTEL still releases music so regularly that it feels like he never even left. Even his social media accounts are active. VYBZ denies that he's continued to record behind bars, but it's a popular opinion that's not true. He continues to release tracks that seem oddly relevant today, and inside the Tower Street prison there is a studio and a low-frequency radio station called Free FM. As for the rest of the story, I think that's it. Well, you know, because this is before they're famous. My name is Mike McCrudden. We make all sorts of celebrity bios here for you on this channel. If you want to know more about other artists, let us know who down below. Check out these other videos. Be sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Love them, tender touch them, different girl.